action.
Action. We're live for week 7.
Week 7?
Yes.
Seven of a contracted 52.
Yes. Right.
And
We got booted. I think. Customize your dashboard? No, I
No,
showed
this is
that
weird. Sorry.
we're live here. So
you got it? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad I could get so up close and personal. So, we're kind of always winging it on the fly. And obviously today we're at a different location. This is week 7 again of a contracted 52, which our streak is still alive.
Yes, it is.
Our streak of inviting our significant others to join us on the show, and them declining is now at a current 7.
They are bad at that. So for you that thought that was going to be the big announcement that they were coming on,
Not true.
that's not it. That's not
true.
the big announcement.
Nope.
So the change in scenery is going to lead us into the big announcement, if you will.
Yeah. So why don't I'll let you do the honors of kind of saying what this big announcement is.
Yeah, so we talked about names on this big announcement. We're going back and forth of the
Yeah.
tri-state guys.
You're not pregnant, right?
No, we're not in that world anymore.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank goodness. But the Suggs Tulby group, and we decided that the best ring to the name moving forward will be Tulby Suggs Group. So Tom and I have decided to join forces in the real estate world and become one and combine our book of business, our networks, our experience into one. So we will no longer be functioning on our islands of real estate. We will merge and partner, and the benefits there are we're both licensed in Indiana and Ohio, and I've got my Kentucky license as well. So all 3 states are covered. He lives in Coleraine, which is west side. I live on the east side out near Amelia. So as far as what the consumer gets with the Tulby Suggs group is, no pun intended, but a lot of real estate.
Yeah. Right. And in talking about this, there's a lot of benefits, one, for us personally and professionally, but the way we've always run our businesses has always been consumer driven.
Yes.
Not Quentin or Tom driven.
Correct.
And when you're in this business, yeah, you want to grow your business, but as an individual in whatever occupation that you have, you want to get better and you want to constantly be able to grow with that.
Correct.
So, in terms of, talk a little bit more about what this does, not for us, right? Because we are such a small part.
Yeah, and that was a lot of our conversation last year. So we did our 2019 end of the year award banquet, and Tom and I sat at the table together then, and we both are passionate about what we do. We both love our job. We both love to do what we do.
Yeah.
and when we were at the table together, we talked about it, and I guess the seed was planted of, why don't we just do this together? Like, you enjoy doing it, I enjoy doing it. Let's just put our brains together and just have fun together and just see where it grows. And so that once that seed was planted, the very next conversation was, I don't want to say it was selfish, but it was, how do I benefit?
Right.
And then how do you benefit? Because we're both established, we're both doing well in this industry, and there's nothing to gain, there's nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It was kind of a pure business decision of a lateral move, and most people don't make lateral business moves because it just doesn't make sense. So we're kind of working through it, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Which changed the game for everyone. So, guys, as you see, we don't have a bell here today.
Yeah.
Because it's a special show, and we'll get to why it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, the merger, but Tom's going to be on vacation next week, so we really want to cover this and get it out there so we can say things on this show that we're typically not allowed to say.
Yeah.
And when it hit, it changed the game. So we kind of put that plan aside, and as we got started this show to have fun. Conversations got deeper and realer, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, ultimately the decision was, it's not about you, like you just said, echoing everything you just said. It's not about you. It's not about me. So what do we benefit? We're going to have more fun because we're working with
well, that's the
close
thing
friends.
too, right? So
Yes.
like, what do we benefit from it? So it's just like when you enjoy, if you have an office, if you're fortunate enough to go into the office, or you're fortunate enough to work from home, one of the reasons we kind of created our show to begin with was kind of on that general, that narrow path of people always working from home. Some people miss that office atmosphere, and when we first talked about it, we're like, well, we should try to do a show about just nothing. It really, like, picture people coming in and into the office, and you spend the first, 10 minutes saying your good mornings and your, hey, did you see this last night, and all these different things that take place.
Yeah.
That was kind of our idea for the original show, right? And it was
water cooler talk.
Yeah. And so now, as that's kind of started rolling, for us, it's kind of meant more because, when you do what we do, when you're real estate agents, you're independent contractors, so you basically own your own business, right?
Yeah.
And we are still clearly under the Pivot logo, the company that we're with and that we love.
Yep.
So, but we are fortunate enough to be able to run our own businesses.
Correct.
And why not run a business together, keeping that light-hearted, fun atmosphere, but combining not just area, not just real estate, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana, which is huge.
Yeah.
But also combining 15, 16 years combined experience.
Yep.
But with the main focus, just like how we have grown our businesses from day one, the idea has always been almost, I would say, faith-based to some extent, not more. But it's always been, the focus has been on the consumer and those clients that we've been fortunate enough to help, in the thought of, if we do a really, really good job from them, the rest of it will take care of itself.
Yes.
So keeping that idea, that mission statement, right? That's, I think, what you're going to get from us, but now it's twofold.
Correct. So you've got your network of contractors and insurance agent and lenders that you work with. I have my network. So we're literally bringing two established businesses together, which, when we had conversations, we seek higher counsel.
Yeah.
And some decisions that and some things that potentially arise from this. And most, it's a unique dynamic because most successful people don't merge together. They help someone along, they mentor someone, they take someone under their wing. So it's not common that two producers merge to create something, just to change and strictly benefit the consumer.
Yeah.
Why did we do this? To cover more ground for the consumer.
And it's constantly trying to get better, right? So we've got to, we've been fortunate enough that we've worked with some really, really good people, right? That have allowed us to do what we do.
Yes.
So looking back, we want to better serve those past clients,
Yep.
the present clients that we have, and the future client base that we have. So how do we do that, right? And I'm not talking specifics, how, in terms of how do we do that. But from our standpoint is, one, combining regions. Two, combining all of your network and contacts to be able to better assist maybe in an area that I'm not so strong at.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yep.
Right? Amongst other things. And just like this show that we've done, a lot of it comes on a wing and a prayer, to where it's like we didn't really know where some of this was gonna end up. We just knew we were gonna do it. And I think this isn't gonna be a perfect science, but in terms of riding that roller coaster, there couldn't be a better person to do this with than Quentin. So
I agree.
Um,
Retaliating you, I'm not saying I agree.
Yeah.
I'm the best person for you. I agree that the feeling is mutual is what I meant to say.
So the point to that, to those of you that are out there, whether you're past, present, future clients, friends, family, whatever it is, hang on, because it's going to get better, and it's going to get more interesting, and we're going to have a ton of fun going down this path.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be beneficial to everybody. With that being said, there's certain things that we have to add, right?
Yep.
Talking, we do this fun show, the Tommy Q show, once a week. And we have a blast doing it, and we try to keep everything fresh. We try to keep everything different. But with that, there comes a business aspect as well that we don't talk about on this show, other than today, right?
Other than today.
So we are going to actually create two different, I guess you could say,
two platforms.
Two platforms.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good way. Two platforms where we will still exist for the Tommy Q show, typically on Thursdays right around 11 o'clock. But we're also going to we're going to add a second show, whether that's 2 times a month, whether it's 4 times a month, 1 time a month.
Yeah, that'll be consumer driven as well.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that happen in this industry, guys. We talk a lot about training on our side, which we as a company, you hinted to it before. Some of the guidance that we had in this company, it's second to no other company out there. And so to give that training.
Well, we wouldn't be loyal as we are if we didn't feel that way.
100%.
Because this is a cutthroat business where if you are an agent, some brokerage wants you to come work for them. Whether you are a producer or not, they want you to come work for them.
Yes. Yeah. So it gets challenging with the training piece, and as you're trying to get your hands around a training aspect in this, it's I don't know, people call it a career, people call it, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So how do you train someone to live a better life?
Right.
It's a tough thing. So in this, we become better people, and when you become better people, you become better at your craft,
right.
And you provide a higher level of service. Just because, when we were talking about Tiger Woods last week, cheer for the person,
right?
Just be a good person, do good, be good, and so that's kind of the training in this.
Yeah.
So it's unique on this. I was a corporate trainer in the past. And you get your policy and procedure manual out. Here's the rules. Here's the guidelines. Here's
and what is our policy and procedure?
Be good, do good.
Exactly. Right? And right now, so there is nothing in this book right now that is telling us how to do what we're going to attempt to do.
No.
Right.
We're dealing with somebody spending, in their world, everything.
Could be the biggest transaction, the biggest decision, the biggest life change for anybody.
Yeah.
When they go to buy, sell a home, right, or property, or whatever that might entail.
I see my family growing here. We're pregnant. We're expecting. It's our first home. We're established. We're moving. School district, whatever the motive is.
Yeah.
That's. We can easily go down that rabbit hole, and that's part of another. So many layers on this cake on why we're coming together. But one of them is, Tom and his 3 sons and Nicole. They enjoy their family, and he's a tremendous family guy, and I like to think I am as well.
Correct.
And we want to be good and do good by our families, by our wives, by our children, and we also need to, at the end of the day, we need to create money to pay our bills and live our lifestyles, right? So
put food on the table, keep the lights on.
That family work-life balance is critical, and the fact that we can do it together.
Yeah.
Friends for 25 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
And we can do it together and still be the husbands that we need to be,
right.
And the fathers that we need to be. And we carry that onto your first house, your dream house, your school district that you desire, because we know the value of family.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that you can experience what we're helping each other experience.
Yeah. We want that experience when you are working with us. We want that experience to be something you remember.
100%.
So we will have our regular show. We will do a second show at least once a month, to where it is. I don't want to say it's always going to be real estate driven, but it'll be an opportunity for us to maybe introduce the audience to people that they don't know, because people have a lot of questions. You know, some of the questions we get: do you have a guy that can do this? Right? Okay. Well, yes, I do. We might be able to introduce you to that particular guy,
Yeah,
or that lady, that woman, you know, that we feel can best help our consumers, whether it's with an idea, whether it's with an actual transaction, whether it's just, you know, just something that makes you say, right? And so we'll be adding people to that virtual guest list.
Yeah.
You know, to where it's
So open invite. I
Yeah.
mean, if there's anybody watching the show that has a small business, whether you're paver or concrete guy, HVAC girl guy, baker, it doesn't matter. Cleaning service.
we love to eat.
We love to eat.
Maybe you own a restaurant.
we do. That's another topic we have often on here is our food. Your open invitation to promote your business, to talk your business. We can come to your business, sit down, and highlight you and have our show remote.
Yeah,
That's what's great about this.
There's also chances too that, you know, if that person's so ready, willing, and able to come on to this show,
Yeah.
and join in some of our shenanigans, right?
Let them have this. Let them spin the wheel.
It's always
We don't have it today.
Right. So, you know,
Our tech girl's not here.
good. It's like, Alexa, wouldn't it be funny if, like, in the back room, like, there was one and she clicked on?
Just can we turn on someone's Alexa?
Yeah, we just turned on somebody else's.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, just to kind of reiterate, Quentin and I are now forming a partnership, the Talby Suggs Group. You will see it'll change some of the stuff that we do, social media wise. You know, in addition to, we'll be able to add. There'll be a Talby Suggs Group page, and we still have to kind of figure out some of those logistics and stuff as to how that works. But the one thing I can ask of you is, when you do see that, please like it. Whether you like the Quentin Suggs real estate page on Facebook or the Tom Talby real estate page on Facebook,
The Talby Suggs Group.
we want it to be. It's going to be one.
You guys are going to see our mugs at a pace
Yes.
that it's just dreams.
Yes.
Do come true. We're going to have our individual pages, our real estate page. We sure do boost our confidence with.
That's the
Someone
only
loves
way,
us.
because we get crushed at home.
Yes.
Our confidence gets crushed at home. Why do you guys do that? Well, that's probably the number one reason why. It's a confidence booster after we leave our houses and we get told, you know, all the things that we get told.
Yeah.
Which,
That's funny. And this whole partnership, I think it hit fast forward because again, we've been talking about it for, I don't know, you know, we talked about it last year, beginning of 2020, and then it went dormant. And then with what's going on in the world, I got COVID, and I had a pretty decent little experience with it.
Yeah.
And I was wiped out, and I was working with a buyer, and this is where the consumer is truly going to benefit from this, because one phone call, actually it was a text.
yeah.
Hey, here's the deal. Can you help out? Tom, gladly.
Yeah.
So he showed a house on the west side of town, which helped me anyway.
Yeah.
And the intent then was, hey, you show them, because I'm under the weather, I'm not feeling right.
Yeah.
Which turned into, I'm sicker than I thought.
Yeah.
Can you negotiate the deal?
Yeah.
Which turned into, I'm still a little sicker. Can you get them through the inspection period? And I'll take it over from there. But just through constant communication, I picked it up. We got the backside of the inspections. We got up to the closing table, and then we listed and sold their home. And it was seamless. And when that was done, it was what we just did was exactly what we talked about doing last year.
Yeah.
We're done talking about it.
Right.
Let's
It's time to go.
Yes.
It's time to go now. 'Cause
So-
now we've seen it work. You know, not that every transaction is going to be seamless,
Oh,
but, you know,
that's a show within itself.
yeah, right. and that we'll probably get into that on the other show. But,
Yeah.
you know, that's ultimately always our goal, is to make that seamless, make that transaction seem as seamless as possible.
Yep. And then you're going on vacation next week, so
Yes.
I get the opportunity to oversee your business.
Correct.
And your consumer doesn't miss a beat.
Doesn't miss a beat.
In this market, when something comes on the market Tuesday morning at 9, and you're enjoying the family time, which we value so much,
Yeah.
guess what? I can have your client in, our client, sorry, Goose, right away.
Dude, this man this week.
I guess I would be Goose.
So, that point of that, is really well taken, because it's not like in this business we ever go away.
Yeah. Thank you, Brandon.
I take my laptop with me, my cell phone. There's so much, we talked about this in one of our previous shows, there's so much stuff you can do, sitting there.
Yeah.
So it's not like each other's lap. We are always in constant communication in regards to what is going on. I mean, I remember a few years ago we went on a trip to Mexico, and the transaction was pretty much over. It was over. I'm on the beach,
and the pipe burst and everything blew up in the house.
Yes, so it was.
This is a deal that we did in the past. That he
Yeah.
went on vacation, and I looked over his business while he was gone, and holy moly!
So, give you a little bit of background. There was a house that it was done. It was.
It was cute. Can you set in for the closing on like Tuesday?
Yes.
Was all the I'll set in for you.
And
I had nothing to oversee. I just had to go sit there and
I'm on a
collect
beach
the check.
in Mexico, drinking a margarita or eating some good food and watching the water come in. I'm thinking, oh, he's got this, no problem. My phone rings. They went the buyers went and did the walkthrough. Again, this was March or February, so it was really cold here. And the pipes burst and basically started a waterfall down the steps from the upstairs all the way into the basement. We went through that. I'm thinking, well, daggone it, we could pretty much get through anything at that point, because it took a little while longer, but we were still able to get that transaction complete. But you talk about feeling helpless.
That. Yes,
feeling absolutely helpless.
And I think the reassuring thing there was because his client obviously was. You go to your source of comfort, which was you.
Yeah.
He didn't know me.
Right.
And we were piggybacking, but I was close. You were tough to get a hold of sometime. And when we would come together, again, communication was absolutely key and critical to life. Again, when you're training in this career, you train on life. So conversations we had, and when we would come together, it's I said this, and we were on the exact same page on how to handle keeping this deal together, keeping the buyer there, and it was just good. And for the consumer to hear consistent messages was, I think that was another solidifying moment of why this works.
Yes, and it's just a confidence level from the consumer standpoint to where we are, and then we protrude a constant confidence level in each other. So with that being said, 2 shows, they will be completely different.
Yep.
This show so far today has been completely different. So thank you for listening to us and holding on. But I think it's time that we discuss the stuff that the people really want to hear about, the fun stuff, the office stuff, right?
Yes. The water cooler
talk.
The rabbit holes.
Yes. Hold on one second. Keep that busy.
Okay. So, we'll piggybacking on everything. So, Tom, and again, we're on the same page. Just the gratitude we have for our clients in the past to help us get here today. So, we want to thank you guys for allowing this to be even possible in the first place. So, Tom's back. Wanted to give this thank you.
So, if we're going to have water cooler conversation, we actually have, for the first time ever, a water cooler.
A water cooler.
Well, it's water.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah, no.
Or open.
Right.
But when you said that, here we are gathered around the water cooler.
There we go. That's great. And we're going to go down the rabbit hole. That we do.
So we are missing our tech girl, Alexa.
Alexa's gone.
We've got some background music here going on right now, but we don't have the wheel. We don't have the local legend stuff. We obviously still thank them, but today's going to be a little bit different. Talking about going back to last week, episode 6, the week as we call it, the week that was, right?
Yes.
So when we ended last week, we talked about food, like always, and we went to Skyline.
Yes.
And which Skyline did we go to?
With the best Skyline in Cincinnati.
Correct.
On Coleraine Avenue.
In
South Coleraine, I guess. Not the one up by Walmart. The one.
Yeah. Right in the middle.
Right in the Coleraine Skyline.
You know, across from the Red Carpet Inn. Everybody knows where the Red Carpet Inn.
Yes.
You know, you can get mattresses there sometime.
Yes.
I don't recommend it, but you could possibly buy one.
Mark Schmar was the man there that we all remember.
Yes.
So,
and it, you know, obviously things have changed a little bit, but it was still the best Skyline in the city.
yes.
Smaller group, but still the best Skyline in the city. Talking about Skyline, what's your go-to?
I love burritos and Cholitos. I love them both. Not with the bean mix on the burrito.
Yeah.
I just get the chili inside. And I like the deluxe burrito. Keep the sour cream, which we've discussed. You know, it's all my
gross.
just keep it as far away as you can.
Gross.
But burritos and Cholitos, man, I tear them up.
So I am a 3-way, 1 chili cheese sandwich guy.
Yep.
And the reason chili cheese sandwich, or when you used to go to Mark, Phony Coney, you know, the reason I choose that is because I don't like hot dogs. Don't like hot dogs.
What guy lives his life at the ball field and doesn't like hot dogs?
No.
Wow.
It's not a hate. It's not a sour cream type hate.
I'd rather not have it.
Yeah. It's much better without it. You know, like the bean mixture and chili. So, you know, stuff to chew on, literally. This week, I guess we can kind of talk about this. 2 states over the last few days have ended their mask mandates,
Yeah, I saw that.
which, you know, I think that's polarizing
It is.
on both sides. But, you know, we wouldn't be providing the news if we didn't discuss some type of polarizing topic.
No holds barred show
Yes.
right here. We're talking COVID, we're talking work, and I guess it's by default. Once you bring COVID, you bring politics into it. And
So today's the day.
today is the day of ruffling feathers potentially.
Yeah.
But I did see that with the Mississippi and
So
Texas,
I
right?
saw it on Twitter first that Texas did it, but I want to say theirs doesn't go active until maybe next week.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Mississippi just said, "Nope, we're done."
We're done. We're done. We're exhausted. We're done.
You know, so I'm because it's so polarizing, right? You have different states that have their different beliefs. Some have played it really, really safe. Some have just said, "You know what? We're just going to roll the dice."
Yeah.
You know, I'm really curious to see which dominoes fall. You know,
Yeah.
there's, you know, here in Ohio, it is what it is, but we've slowly started to open back up, and it's probably been at a more rapid pace than some of our neighboring
Kentucky.
states. Yeah, right. And I'm not here to say that Kentucky is wrong or Ohio is right or Texas or Mississippi. I just find it very interesting, you know, in the political realm that we have right now, and how everything is so red, not black and white. It's so red. Well, I guess you could say that too, but red and blue.
Yep.
Right, to where. What is that? Is it just the South? Are the states that are in the South that maybe have a warmer climate, or
So that was a lot of the arguments were initially was the warmer climates, and then you just see it's such an ebb and flow with each city of Florida. We're doing it right, and they got smoked.
Yeah.
New York, we're doing it right, and they got smoked, and the whole time that this has been going on, dude. If you want to wear a mask, rock it. If you don't. I mean, it's your call. It's your belief. I'm maybe a little intimately close to it because of Jessica.
Yeah.
As a nurse, you know, we talk on a different level and long-term effects and things like this. And some of these things, you're just not going to avoid it. And it's stay healthy.
Yeah.
It's it. And I drink vitamin because I got a decent. I got pneumonia with mine, so I had a decent. But now I just. it creates an awareness of something that, I was complacent on in the first place, and that's just my health. I wasn't bad, but at the same time, I wasn't good. So I got my vitamins.
You start noticing things a little bit different.
Which that should have been talked about, in my opinion, talked about significantly more than anything is health.
Right.
And is that the end all be all? I don't know anybody knows what is.
You've got vaccinations now coming out at a decent pace, from what I understand.
Johnson & Johnson has the single shot now. Jessica got hers through work. First shot was okay.
Yeah.
A little numb. She works third shift, so she came home. She got shot. She came home, went to bed. She didn't get motion in her arm. She was a little sore, but that's because. And the second shot kind of a rough day.
Yeah.
Because the body's just adjusting, and she didn't feel. She was just off centered all day and just felt.
I do think it was cool that the Johnson & Johnson is one shot, from what I understand. To where, it's kind of ripped the Band-Aid off, I guess. I don't know what those particular side of things are.
I love the conversations that I can have with Jessica because I'm not married to too many thoughts and commitments to too many things.
Right.
Life's bigger than me, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
But with her and I talking, it's, when you look back at, the Spanish flu and just measles and chicken pox, all of those went through the phase of where the medical field, they give you a shot, and it's like worked for 6 months,
right?
And then they advanced it, and then it's like you get, your tetanus shot, and it works 10 years now,
right?
But originally it was like
short window.
This will help you out for a year,
yeah.
Until and COVID's going to go through that same progression of, all right, these shots will work for 90 days, which is better than nothing, and then in 4 or 5 years from now, you'll get your shot for COVID, and it's going to work for 10 years,
right?
So we're just in a progression stage, so everyone that gets discouraged, well, I got to take the shot to work for 90 days. What's the point?
Right.
Well, because we're all in this together, and they're going to figure out the right formula to help us long term.
So I'm sure that has, because even, talking about sporting events, right? So you're watching basketball right now. I know in college basketball here, they bumped the percentage a little bit. So I think they're around like 2,000 fans, right? In spring training, they're allowing some fans in. It was cool. It was weird. I was watching, it was Sports Center, and I was watching that, and somebody hit a home run, and it went to the outfield. And
somebody was there?
Well, no, the exact opposite. But they have grass in the outfield.
Yeah.
It was like somebody spray painted like an area. It was like like a lack of a better way of saying it. Like it was like this and like this, and the wall would be here, and so like people were only allowed. Like it's hard to see. Wish I had a chalkboard, but like that, right? Yeah. So like people would only be allowed in that area. Then a ball gets hit.
Yeah, people could only hang out in the O or in the P.
Right. And like the ball gets hit over the fence, and then all that goes out the window. Everybody's running for the ball. Such is life, I'll follow your rules until a home run gets hit over the fence.
I'll follow your rules until it doesn't benefit me
anymore.
That's great. So it sucks so bad this weekend because Paige and UMass, they've got their first college game ever in Delaware. And guess what? Delaware is only allowing their home fans.
Oh, no way.
So I talked to Paige's boyfriend, and we're because I Google Earthed it, pulled it up. There's a parking lot in the outfield.
So Delaware, what is their? Are they the Blue Hens?
The Fighting Blue Hens.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Joe Flack ONG.
Yes.
Where he went to school.
So did you have to go and buy some Fighting Blue Hens gear?
That's what I said. Something show up in some Blue Hens gear, like, yeah!
Blue Hens fan all the way.
All day.
All the way.
So show up as a home fan.
Rip the shirt off like.
So another softball dad, his daughter plays for Miami, Oxford, and they played down in Georgia. And the complex they played at, that's where I kind of got the idea from. And another dad on the UMass team, there's a parking garage outside of the stadium. So he parked on the top level of the parking garage because they didn't allow fans in. So he's just sitting in his car watching his daughter play. So he drove, 8.5 hours to Atlanta area, watched his daughter play. Didn't see her. Yeah, he turned around and came home. So,
will they stream that stuff?
Yeah. So, which hybrid into the app of the week. I got the Big Ten app, and Jessica and I subscribe to ESPN Plus, so we can watch as many games as we can.
That'd be cool. So they're going to be on ESPN Plus.
Yes. I don't know about this weekend,
Okay.
but a lot of their games in the Atlantic 10 is pretty heavy on ESPN Plus.
So I've got ESPN Plus, and I've noticed, I don't want to say oddball, but like, your typical sports are on. Used to be basketball, football, baseball, hockey, those are the big. And then ESPN Plus comes around, and I've noticed, like, yeah, it is a lot. Like, there is so much content on ESPN Plus. A women's softball game. I've seen lacrosse. All these different things that would never be on TV, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, and I might get these numbers out of whack. I don't know, but I think when we first got on, it's like pay for the year of $60,
Yeah,
or $4.99 a month. It's like we're only going to use it for softball season, right? $4.99 a month, cancel it in 4 months, 3 months when the season's over. I'm keeping it.
yeah.
I'm keeping it forever. There's so much, and we got Peyton's Place, which we watched. That guy is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys have ESPN Plus. If you watch Peyton Place's shows, have you ever watched them?
No, I haven't.
Dude,
I've
scale
got
1 to
that
10,
down.
they're like a 35.
So tell us, talk about. That's a good segue because we had that kind of conversation.
The show of the week.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So
Which we're always going to bring you guys a show of the week because we were talking about that.
Oh,
the social media platforms. What's a good watch?
Yeah.
Peyton's Place. Peyton's Place. Peyton's Place. Fantastic.
So talk about. So what happens? Explain.
The season 1 was the anniversary, like the 100-year reflection back of pro football.
Okay.
Like where it started, when it started, So when it first started, there was no forward pass. So what got the forward pass going in football? There were some political pieces that were involved in that. There were some TV stations that were involved in that. There were some brilliant minds of coaches that were involved in that. He had an episode of the evolution of the football itself. So it used to be almost like a rugby ball, which is real thick in the middle, and it was oblong, but it wasn't.
So is it like a documentary? Because obviously, if you know Peyton Manning,
yeah. So it's tough to explain. It's like a hybrid of, because he interviews people, so he'll have different people on. He had like who's the Skittles, the Beast, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
He had him on, and they drove around and they talked about that famous run that he had when he just destroyed everybody. The fans got so loud that cheer actually registered on the earthquake scale.
Well, that was in Seattle,
Yes.
and that's
So
isn't that why
the
they call him the 12th man?
Yeah. Yes. They retired the number 12 because
Yeah.
of their fans, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
But there's that. He had Letterman on where he did a thing at Ball State to where, him and Letterman are just talking kind of as we are, just very open, organic, candid conversation about whatever. There was, anything influenced by football. He has a great episode on Elvis.
So I didn't like Peyton Manning for personal reasons when he was playing.
Yeah.
He just always seemed to just crush my team, and it was never a doubt he was going to
A lot of
crush
other
it.
teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was always when they were good, not to spin off completely, but when they were good, that there was always that hope that this is the game, and
Yeah.
he would snatch the victory away without question every single time. But as he's retired, and he's been on more shows and seen him on like an ESPN or NFL, people interview him, like his personality it's hilarious.
Yes.
Like it's dry, but it's down to earth.
I would let him hang out with us. He would totally fit into our group.
I think so. It's that common sense of like just goofiness. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like it's to me, I find things that aren't common sense goofy, right?
I agree.
Or ironic.
Yeah.
Just stuff you see.
Puns, dad jokes, all that stuff.
Yes.
It's just,
And like thinking about that's exactly it. Like you go down the street, you go to the grocery store, and you see something or somebody doing something goofy, and it's just like that. It's like, where's Waldo? Like, oh, there's Waldo.
yeah.
He found the one thing that But anyway, so yeah.
So one of the coolest episodes, man. He had he did it in Green Bay, and he was driving around Green Bay with Brett Favre in Bart Starr's, I don't know, 1960 something green convertible Corvette that he won as being a league MVP, and they go to Vince Lombardi's house, which the basement is still 100% intact, the way it was when Vince Lombardi lived there. So it's just a modest ranch, brick ranch. You know,
Is it a museum now?
A guy lives there. So they knock on the door. Could you imagine opening the door and it's Brett Favre and Peyton Manning like, hey, so Vince Lombardi used to live here. He sure does. Can we come in? Yeah, basement is...
Well, that guy's probably looking at Brett Favre like, yeah, yes, come on in.
So they go down and they share all these pictures and old videos of when Vince Lombardi, after the Super Bowl, this is how times have changed so much. So after he wins the Super Bowl, he goes back to his house in his basement and has friends over, and they're sitting around his bar in his basement just talking. Like we would go after like a Korean football game, right? Just go to somebody's house, and they're sitting in the basement talking, and they show all these pictures and some videos of him talking, and it's the paneling wall, and they're sitting there, and it's the same background.
I can picture it.
And it's 100%
cigar smoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he interviews Brett Favre throughout on the documentary of, and then every episode he's got a new person that he'll interview and kind of walk down.
Yeah.
Where that played a signal, like he had Ron Jaworski on there, Jaworski, Jaws.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning's personality is it's gold.
Oh, that's the best part.
He dresses like Elvis on one because he's a big Elvis fan, and it's just neat.
Like his whole attitude, like you said, towards life and towards things is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, some buddies of mine way back when. This is off topic. This is just to tell you kind of. I don't even know why I'm saying this because it's making me sound like
because we're going down a rabbit
real
hole.
idiot.
But do these things.
When he was drafted, he was paired with Ryan Leaf. And, you know, my circle of friends, we swore Ryan Leaf was going to be a better quarterback than Peyton Manning. And I still don't live this down. Like, it's still, like, that's, you know.
Oops.
Yes. Bad. Right? And and I think that started the hatred for Peyton Manning because he was so good. And I'm watching Ryan Leaf, you know, fall away. And it's like, really? Like, you couldn't give me 5 years? You know, it's just like,
You couldn't give me 5 games?
yeah, 5, yeah. So, yeah, Peyton's Place. So I got to check that out. And so far, you've been pretty spot on for me because I've kind of taken that advice too and started watching some of those shows. So I finished Last Kingdom, which is tremendous. So Nicole and I were looking last night or the night before. She was looking online to see like what shows are coming back.
Yeah.
So we're breaking news right now.
Yes.
Right? Breaking news. So, Last Kingdom, I didn't know this, is coming back.
Yes.
Okay.
Uhtred.
Son of Uhtred. Yeah, from Bevenberg.
Bevenberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, you know, that goes down a whole other rabbit hole of, like, I just could not.
Uhtred.
I kept
Son of
talking.
Uhtred.
Yes, and I watched it for like 2 weeks, and I couldn't stop talking like Uhtred and the people at that time. Just replacing myself like my lady, my lord, it's like I'm walking around like.
But it's cool how they got their names. Like you had Ragnar.
Yes.
And then you had Ragnar's son,
Yes.
which became Ragnar's son.
Right. So
go ahead.
I finished that, which is awesome. So you should check that out. And then I got a recommendation to watch on Prime a show called The Boys. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the middle of that right now. That one also is coming back. Breaking news.
Don't watch it in front of the kids.
Cobra Kai coming back. Breaking
thoughtful of your audience and the boys.
Yes. So
Jessica and I watched it, and we were a little
different.
Not a prude, but I was caught off guard. Like I didn't see that coming. Okay,
It's a little like
all right.
The writing.
Go ahead and go with this.
I think you were talking about this before. The writing in that is tremendous because it's just so daggone creative.
Yeah.
For what they're dealing with. So just picture the Justice League, right? A cheap ripoff of the Justice League, which is like Superman, Wonder Woman,
Yes.
all of those superheroes.
Yes.
And so they have this real life cheap Justice League. The difference is,
remember the Transformers and the GoBots?
yes,
It's the GoBots.
Yes, instead of Fruit Loops, it's Fruitios. Right?
Yes.
But
Sorry, boys.
yeah, you get instead of the bag, you get the box.
Yes.
Because they were a couple cents cheaper.
Yes.
To get it. But the point of the show is you have these Justice League-like characters that are superheroes, or they have superpowers, much like your Supermans and your Batmans and everything. And the difference being, they are not good people.
Not at all.
No, they are actually terrible
Disgusting.
human beings with superpowers. And so if you can imagine the original Justice League and like how they had the lunchboxes and the toys and the movies, and imagine them basically saying, you know what, I'm going to try to exploit my superhero-ness and make as much money as possible in doing it. And I don't care what people think, and I'm going to use it strictly for my own benefit.
Yes.
Not good people, but they have superpowers.
Yes.
Um,
So if you get, yeah.
definitely don't watch it around the kids. There's all kinds of language amongst other things that go on. But the writing in it I thought was tremendous, because to take a superhero story, make them superheroes still,
And vilify them.
and yes, and so I'm not done with that. So I'll give you a full report, kind of, in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, so shows of the week. If you haven't seen Peyton's Place,
Yep.
if you haven't seen Last Kingdom, check it out. Or if you want to watch The Boys,
Another one that we got caught up on, and they've been out forever. I haven't really watched a lot of them, but 30 for 30s.
Yeah,
They do a great job, man. I mean, I would say 30% of the time, I'm at the end of the episode, just kind of lump in my throat, just like, wow.
Yeah.
You just, I mean, they hit home, and you really feel for the stories of some of these people, and little tearjerkers, man.
yeah. Just it makes
Again, they've been out forever, and a lot of people have seen a lot of them peppered in, but
it makes a lot of things real that maybe didn't seem so real before.
100%. The Youngstown Boys with Maurice Claret, everything he went through was just fascinating story, but it's just, you see everything he went through was just, and I'm gonna go into this because I don't care, because I'm not a big Buckeye guy.
Yeah.
But what they did to him as an entity, as an organization, as a university, was embarrassing. Like, it was just awful the way they treated him, and at 19 years old, going through that, and when you're dealing with a superpower in Ohio State, and they treat you like filth,
Right.
and you get pushed by the wayside, and you it's easy at that, when you're tempted with that much money and that much fame and glory, and at that age, to make bad decisions. And to see him make all of his bad decisions, go to prison, and now he's like a youth leader, does camps, does
Walks around,
motivational speaks,
does
goes to
speeches.
prisons, and he's yoked up again, so he's completely fit,
Yeah.
and he's such an inspiration. You want to talk about a local legend?
Yeah.
He's a national legend.
Yeah.
But in what he does in Youngstown is just, so I got the chills, and when you cheer for the person,
It's true.
I mean,
It's-
I teared up, happy for, where he, I'm hoping he's still there in his life today,
Right.
Because this was an older 30 for 30, but that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I think cheering for the person, like we talked about last week, and even when we talked about it earlier today, just always trying to be better, right? And whatever it is that you're doing, you're just always trying to be better at it. It's just a constant improving of yourself, a constant improvement of what we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, of being in the present.
Yeah.
It's constant. So that's good. The shows we talked about, check those out. ESPN was the app we talked about. I don't really have any specific apps that kind of came to me this week. I can tell you a little bit of story. So my parents.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're even on here, but this is kind of funny. But
I do have an Ameritrade app that Jessica does.
Yeah, I'm not.
She's still gung-ho in the stock market.
Notice I haven't done anything about stocks this week.
She's got her alarm set. Boy, she's hit it heavy, man.
I need to back off. I need to back off and just let them simmer.
Dude, she's got her foot on the throttle and she's going. She wakes up in the morning, she's like, everything's red. Little blip in the market. You know what that means?
Double down.
Things are cheap. Let's buy.
Double down.
So, I told her the quote. I don't know who said it, but it's, when everyone's scared, that's when you should spend money.
Yeah.
And when everyone's spending money, you should be scared.
You should be scared.
So when she sees that red, she's like, "Ooh, I'm spending money."
I did not
Just make money.
I did not choose to double down. It's one of those where it's like, you know what? I'm going to use this as just kind of a little break. Let it go, and I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
You know, I just because I was watching it and I was getting involved in it, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait.
I've done that with a few apps in the past because I don't play a lot of games on my phone.
Yeah.
But I'll find like I had Candy Crush in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm playing it and I'm playing it and it's just one of those moments of like, I'm deleting this app.
Right.
I play this way too much.
Right.
And then I had spades. I play spades like in downtime. A lot of times at night just fall asleep, but you know I find myself just playing spades.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what am I doing? I had to delete the app just to not be addicted.
So
to
this is an off topic, but you just reminded me of something. And I've been doing this lately, right? So you know you've had whether you have time. I like to be on time, right?
Yeah.
You know, a few minutes early. I don't like to be late, but on time.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to sit someplace and wait 30 minutes.
I'm on time. I'm not 10 minutes, 15 minutes early. I'm on time, guy. Yes.
So, you know, I'll look at whether I'm going to a practice or whatever, or going wherever I'm going.
If it's 30 minutes, I'm leaving 33 minutes early.
Yes, right. And so, like, you know, say I got to be somewhere at 6, and it's 10 minutes down the road. Like, I might leave at quarter of 6.
So when I'm late, I call a traffic light.
Yeah, and it's 5 o'clock. It's like, man, what should I do for the next 45 minutes? Like, I know there's a lot of stuff I can do. But what should I do? Yeah. So Blake has a Switch.
Okay.
A Nintendo Switch, right? And so I would if it's just sitting there, I would take the Switch, and I literally would sit and play Mario Kart on that Switch for like 20 minutes just until it was time to like get ready. It's like I had like 20 minutes to burn. What am I? So like the last 2 weeks, like I've been burning through these levels like a kid.
Yes.
On Mario Kart. But you reminded me of that when we were talking about, you know, playing on your phone. It's like, well, it wasn't my phone. It wasn't really an app. But yeah, this is exactly what I did to try to make up.
It's the Tetris effect.
Yes.
You start linking blocks together, man. You can't set it down.
Yeah.
And when you do set it down in your head, you still see how boxes come together.
Yeah, the whole world becomes Tetris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Which leads us into our next.
Yep.
Men and women packing the car for vacation.
Okay, so yes. So this was a TikTok I saw.
Okay.
Okay. It was sent to me. Great. So hello, Nicole. I'm glad you're listening now.
Chiming in just in time. We're talking about packing the car.
So she sends me this TikTok, and I know
I'm gonna
get roasted for this later. Okay, a TikTok of so we do a lot of like weekend camping trips that are local and whatever. And like, she basically she does it all. She's Superwoman. She packs everything, you know.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
She's watching I've Got the Greatest Wife Ever.
Yeah,
She's
right?
Superwoman.
So she packs everything. Most of the time, she'll pack the truck, you know, for the most part, unless it's something heavy. But we'll get all the stuff out of the way and then whatever. But then she always looks at me like in the morning or the night. Have you packed yet? Have you packed your clothes yet? Have you packed this?
Yeah.
You know, and like no, I'm like. I have a specific routine when I pack. Like, I don't want to pack something that I might wear tomorrow.
Yes, that's part of my packing is what I'm actually that day I'm wearing.
Right.
Because if we're there for 4 days, I pack 3 pairs of shorts. Because the 4th day, I'm wearing that outfit.
Yeah. Yes. See, I do the opposite. But hold that thought because I'm going to go there too. So, packing, I'm packing my clothes. Right? So the TikTok was a woman sitting there with highlighted up above how she's packed all the kids' clothes, she set up all their appointments, she's done all these different things,
yes.
And meanwhile, the husband hasn't done one single thing. So I'm curious as to, like, other men, are they like me, or am I alone in the fact that, like, I feel much safer doing last-minute packing than I do if I pack ahead of time, because I'm a neat, not neat in terms of like super cool neat, but I'm like kind of a neat freak, kind of organized, like in terms of like in my own head how I like things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when I pack a bag, I pack it with a specific purpose.
Yes.
Right. And so, like you said, if you're going for, I love this song too, by the way.
Yeah.
Best guitar riff.
My Pandora station is the greatest station.
This to me right here is the best guitar riff at least of my generation.
And we're not getting paid for this.
No,
We don't,
right.
Pearl Jam,
Anyway,
go ahead.
so like if I'm going somewhere for 3 days, I wear clothes that I'm probably going to wear the whole day or close to the whole day, the day that you leave and you arrive or whatever it is. So that would, if it's 3 days, I'm going to pack 4 pair of underwear, 4 pair of socks, 4 t-shirts, 4 of everything.
Yes.
Only because you never know what's going to happen, what you're going to lose.
Fair enough.
You might get rained on. You might fall in a puddle.
Yes.
You know, it's called being prepared.
Yes.
So the reason I pack so late is to make sure that I'm prepared
For not early or late.
Yes, thanks, Nicole. Yeah. I'm prepared for every situation that life can throw at me, clothes-wise.
All right.
Right? So that's my story on why. So
Jessica molded my life in that because I was bare minimum guy.
yeah,
And she would always pack all this extra stuff, and I would get discouraged because it's just more stuff to pack.
Mhm.
But you would run into situations where it's like, thanks for packing that. And she's like, I told you.
Yeah.
And it's just, so now it's part of the routine, and we have our structure in the house. And but it's similar to yours. You know, I kind of put off for the last minute, and I think it's because I can, because I'm a simple packer. I don't pack
That's
a lot.
true, too.
I don't need the hair dryer. I'm a simple. A hat is good for me, right? So I get my things. She organizes that because she's kind of a controlling person in that area of how it's going to lay out once we get set up wherever we're going, how everybody's stuff is distributed. And so she's got her visions there, and I don't care about that stuff.
Right.
So I let her run her world,
Right.
and I'm good with it. Here's my stuff. When you pack the suitcase, here's my stuff on the end of the bed, and I'm out of your way. So I don't care as long as I have enough clothes to get me through. And she'll throw in, I brought you 2 extra pair of pants. I was like, why? I don't need them. And it ended up getting cold. And I'm like, thanks, Jessica.
Right. Good thinking.
She does all that detailed packing,
Yeah.
and she knows to not go anywhere near the van. I will pack the van.
A good one.
Don't even look at
Good
it.
segue.
That's where the Tetris came in.
Yes,
Because,
they don't believe in that Tetris mentality.
no, I will stare, I will look, and sometimes the girls will come and throw their bag in, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Get everything
I don't
out.
want anything in this van.
Get
I got to
everything
look
out.
at it.
Yep.
I got to look at the van. I got to size it up. And, dude, it fits. And it's like it's not there.
So-
and I do pride myself on the Tetris packing of a car. I'm a beast packing a car.
I am going to give you an example, and so am I. That same
So
exact.
Jessica
mindset.
knows. So where the way our house is set up, they bring all their stuff down, and it sets. We got our island, and it walks right out to our garage, which we load it. Everything's just in a single file line, and then it's like a robot. It's like if you start bringing it together and
This doesn't fit.
load it up, boom.
So
Did you pack the van? Yep.
so we'll go camping nearby, and we'll take the kids' bikes.
Way to spin your procrastination.
Hey, this is the no spin zone, is what it is, right? So we'll take the kids' bikes, and and I'll get out there, and she's done her diligence to pack everything up, and I look at it, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I don't want to jam everything in there because I've got to get all this stuff back out.
Yes.
And when you've got 2 or 3 bikes in there, you get spokes, and you get pedals and spokes, and then you got firewood in there, and you got fishing poles, and you got all these different things that we take with us. And it's like, this needs to be done a certain way. Because
Yes.
I need to get this stuff back out, and I don't want to climb back over it. And like the Tetris mentality, I want as much flatness on the top as possible. I don't like things hanging out over the side. I want things just uniform.
So where
And
she controls her world, I've learned to leave it alone.
Yeah.
Because it works for her, and ultimately it works for the benefit of all of us.
Right.
And then when I pack the car, she's learned to leave me alone because it works for me.
Right.
And ultimately it works for the benefit of all of us.
Right.
And it's one of the great things about, since we talked earlier about the family work-life balance and
Yeah.
being better husbands. I love that part of marriage is you learn one another through time.
Right.
You go through your hiccups, you go through your frustrations, you
Right.
want to strangle each other sometimes, but it's like, hey, you live in your world, and I live in my world, and at the same sense, we complement each other so well when it comes to just packing.
Yeah.
Like, you worry about these things, I worry about these things. I understand the benefit of yours now, you understand the benefit of mine now, and it comes with
See,
20 years of banging your heads against each other.
Her argument would be like, you only worry about your things.
Oh, no. So we're packing the stuff. why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Get that out. Because Jessica, when we show up, here's a sequence of events, getting to the field, getting the bat bag, getting this, getting that. So everything's packed in perfect order. It's like packing, go to the grocery store.
Got it.
Eggs and
I didn't know you were
bread.
going to go there, but you just did.
So you pack the grocery cart.
Hold that, because I've got a great question for you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be a two-part question. So there was a while before all this hit that we were going to the grocery store together, right? And she does an amazing job going to the grocery store and like getting deals. And she would yell at me. Yeah, she would yell at me for like picking the wrong fruit snacks, for the kids. Like that's not on this week's deal. And so, I was learning lessons and stuff as we go. But then we would get to the checkout line, and and they have the guy or girl, the kid or man or woman that's there bagging the groceries.
Yeah.
And it drives me crazy when they put like wrong things together. I'm like, put all my lunch meat together, put as much stuff that's going to go in the fridge together. Boxes go together.
Yeah.
Again, this is my Tetris mentality where it's like, if I've got 2 boxes of cereal, put them in there, and then put the crackers in there. They're all boxes. Do we have a little room for this jar of pickles? Yep, we can throw that in there. And then, like, things that don't throw my toothpaste and shampoo with, like, the fruit.
I can't. So it's funny where we get used to get discouraged at wives with the way they pack stuff.
Yeah.
But when we go to the grocery store, because I'm the same way. When I'm watching them pack the bags, I'm just like, I start to short circuit because I'm like, that makes no sense.
None at all.
When I get to my house and I unload these, that makes no sense to me. So I'll consciously try to unload the cart in a sensible manner to where I hope that when it goes down the belt, they pack it in a manner that when I get back to my house, the bags are organized, I can do some things. I'm such an efficient freak,
right?
That I'm just watching and I'm like, so those are one of the blessings in life that I've learned to just stop. I can't watch them.
Right. It drives me crazy.
I'll look back and like they're packing down here and I'm just like, I'll freak out.
So it actually benefits.
So when our wives used to freak out on us, we freak out on the bagging guy at Kroger.
Yes. And it benefits, and I'm sitting here thinking.
So sorry for being hypocrites, guys.
It actually benefits me more this is just me.
Yeah.
If I'm the one doing the bagging.
Yes.
And she gets so frustrated. Like, you're taking forever. I'm like, but you don't understand. I might take a little bit longer here, but when we get home, we're going to shave seconds off of the time of putting this away.
I would be bagging like, whoa, ring that up next.
Yeah, because if I got to stack it underneath, can we ring that up first so we can get rid of that so I have more room in the cart?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
so the next guy in line ring it out. Sorry.
Yeah. And then when go back to the Tetris mentality, you then say you got a case of water or a case of beer, pop, and it's like when you load the car, it's like that's got to go on the bottom because you can set all the other stuff on top of it without crushing it.
Yes.
Right? So then it comes to you get to your house. Right? And you get to your house and it's a gazillion plastic bags. What do you do?
So that I put them in the recycle bin, or I just throw them away.
No, what do you do? So
okay, I'm sorry.
You got the car's loaded. You got to get the bags and the groceries in the house.
Yep.
What's your mindset on that?
I hope I'm going where you're thinking. We just back in to the driveway, open the garage.
Yep.
And then we got our island.
Yep.
And some things carry over to the table.
Okay.
So we'll come in and we start a few bags on the table.
Okay, so take me back a step to where you're actually removing the bags from the car.
I load.
That's where I'm
like,
going.
okay.
Yes.
So I've got like 30 bags on each arm.
And
you know what? I do mentally go there like, look at me. Yeah. I'm so proud of myself. Like when you're 5 and you carry a gallon of milk, like,
I think you can hardly reach. It's like, I've got bags all the way up to here. It's like, that one looks like a light one.
Both arms are full. Can I grab this 12-pack?
Without crushing something, I'm reaching across.
And you feel the 12-pack of pop like starting to rip.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
Hurry. Get in, throw everything down.
Yes.
So that's where I was going with that. So,
that's where I pat myself on the back for my manhood.
Yes. How many can I get in?
Yes.
So
there's some strategy to that as well, because you're getting bags and you're like, I can't get over that, and I know that's going to be, got orange juice. How can I get the maximum amount of bags?
And just the first thing, where are the eggs?
Yes.
Where are the eggs? Because we'll be extra careful with the eggs.
Eggs and bread.
Yeah. Yep. Eggs and bread. We don't want smashed eggs. We don't want.
Sometimes I'll grab those first, and I'll walk in to make sure the table and stuff are ready, and then I'm like, "It's on,
go."
Yeah. Go.
So, men and women packing. We have our differences.
Yep.
Yin and yang.
And accept it.
Yeah.
Allow it to be, and you're extremely efficient.
Yeah.
Jessica knows where I stand. I know where she stands, and I think our package. Plus, with as much as we traveled for 9 years, every weekend we're going over and over, going out of town for every softball tournament, and Audrey synchronized swimming. We're out of town with her constantly. So those two, really helped us master the art of packing.
It's two different worlds, like you said, that collide to become better for the one. Right?
That's great verbiage.
Which is probably the theme.
It's like quote worthy.
Which is probably the theme for today.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, to think about everything we talked about, it's two different worlds.
Yep.
Close to different worlds. Colliding for the betterment of the one. So, that's our show this week. We had a lot of fun. Took a couple of different turns, especially early on. Be on the lookout for the Talby Suggs Facebook page. Please like it. If you missed the show here, we'll have it live, or we'll have it up on YouTube. I did forget one thing, and this is odd too, because last week I told you we were going to do this every week. So last week I had 150,015 emails.
Yeah.
Now I did not remove any emails, and this happens from time to time. Okay?
Yeah.
So currently I have 14,601 emails.
Yeah, I told Jessica that last week. She's like, "There's no way," because I told you hers was like 7,000, 8,000, or something crazy. And when I told her, she was like, "There's no way." So I literally looked at it, and saw it,
and I haven't touched it. But sometimes something with the phone or something with the email system, they might only be looking at whatever algorithm they're looking at to pull it up. They might have been. So I'm almost guaranteeing you that we will be closer to the 150,000, probably the 160,000.
Yeah.
By the next time we get together. So, and touch on that. So next week there will be no Thursday show.
There will be no Thursday show.
We'll continue on the following week.
I may do something because I told you that we're not allowed to watch Paige this weekend.
Yeah.
So me and the boyfriend, we might. Sorry, Bailey. Paige's boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think we're going to pound some pavement Saturday. Drive out to Delaware, stay the night, and then sit in the parking lot and look through the screen, the colored screen in the fence, and thanks to the ESPN, we'll be able to watch from there. And so we're driving 18 hours round trip to sit in a parking lot and look through a fence. I don't even know if we'll get a chance to see her.
We should actually add that to the next show.
So I might go live Sunday from Delaware, the Fighting Blue Hens.
Home of Joe Flacco.
Home of Joe Flacco, and that should be fun. I might even chime in on the road while we're heading out there because it's a beautiful drive.
And you've got your new dashboard.
I got the new dash phone holder that you inspired me to go get.
Yeah, a little carpool karaoke with you and the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That could be some interesting conversation for.
We'll see. He's a great kid. We love him, but I don't know that he's got that personality. We're gonna find out.
Is he that excited about going?
Oh yeah, he is. I texted him last. Man, Paige, don't listen to this.
Yeah, right.
I texted him last night like, "Hey man, it's we might make that trip." He's like, "Dude, I'm calling off work." I was like, "Well, hold on." He said it's taken care of. I mean, it was like real time. Boom, 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 boom. So we're gonna make that trip. Pop in on her, and could you imagine? 19 years old, 18-hour drive with your girlfriend Sam.
Two different worlds colliding for the betterment of one, right? That's exactly what it is.
It's gonna be
so
again. He's a great kid, so we'll enjoy that.
So I expect the next time in a couple of weeks we'll get a full report.
Yeah,
and be on the lookout too. Like we said before, we're entertaining ideas for small businesses as well.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So
And,
back on that one
and
time.
even from a real estate perspective, small business doesn't have to work in real estate, but somebody that has a general knowledge of some type of home-based idea, construction, whatever it might be,
Cleaning, whatever.
lending, inspecting, whatever that might bring you to. Those are the kind of people we're looking for. Some of the shows, and as well as you never know, we might get a guest or two to pop in here and just really shoot the shenanigans with us.
Yeah.
Get a different perspective. It's clearly not going to be Jessica and Cole, but a woman's perspective would be today would have been tremendous for a woman to be here.
Yes.
And we'll probably get beat up
Nicole,
for
we
that.
saw you chime in on here. This was your perfect opportunity to make your voice heard.
Yeah.
And
Instead of hiding behind the
keyboard warrior.
yeah, right. That's what it is. I'm going to probably catch that one. So again, a lot of stuff going on. One in the world, but obviously, kind of what we talked about earlier. We just thank everybody that's kind of allowed us to get to this point, and allowing us to, past, present, future, to just really become better. Two worlds colliding for the betterment of one. So thanks again. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Tom, have a great vacation, man. Enjoy that family time.
It's not really 1996, but in 1996, what do we say? Peace out.
Peace out.